Episode 8 of Keynotes. Ammar Akhtar. Ammar is an entrepreneur based in Dubai since 2007 and has formed several successful initiatives mostly inclined towards mobility and technology. Ammar is the brain behind the online booking systems for Budget, Thrifty, Dollar, and many other companies, and he's the founder and CEO of Finalrentals, which is a car rental booking innovation startup in the UAE. Finalrentals.com has won the Gulf Capital SME Award as a Digital Business of the Year 2018. Ammar's dream is to make car rental reservations as easy as renting a movie from Netflix or ordering food from Zomato. Ammar has been nominated as the Entrepreneur of the Year by Gulf Capital Meed Awards in 2019. If you get value out of the show, the best way to support me is to subscribe and share it with someone, whether it be in casual conversation or through social media. If you would like to connect with me, please tag me at Farrukh Talks on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Let's get into the 8th episode of Keynotes with Ammar Akhtar. 3, 2, 1, and we're live. How are you, Ammar?
I'm good, thank you very much. What about you?
Been busy recording.
Yeah.
So we had another shoot in the morning. This is the second one. And a very interesting thing about your story that I want to share with all my listeners. Last time we met, you told me you've barely ever had a corporate life.
Yes, that's right.
2 years or less, right?
Yes.
And then you're a serial entrepreneur.
That's right, yes.
You just don't get tired of forming startups after startups.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
I don't know. Yeah, that's
so
true.
You must hate your life a lot.
Well, not really. It has been a mix of ups and downs. But now, honestly speaking, now it's like another day at work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even think that I have this entrepreneurial life. It's more about creating a business,
Mm-hmm.
creating more value, finding more solutions, and because I'm a digital entrepreneur, we create online tools, online apps. So it's more like a creative journey every day. You find a new feature and you say, you know what, let's do this. So I don't even think anymore that hey, I'm this full-time entrepreneur since 15 years. I think that part is now on the back foot.
Mm-hmm. So how many startups are you managing at this point in time?
3.
3, okay. And all 3 are related to, so just to backtrack a little bit for our listeners, currently you're into rental car space.
That's right, yes.
Okay. All 3 startups are in the same space?
No, so we have Finalrentals.
Yeah.
That's a platform for car rentals.
Mm-hmm.
So we bring traditional companies online, so you can book online, with good prices. It's also short term and long term.
Mm-hmm.
Then the second one is called GeekFence.
GeekFence.
Yeah,
okay.
geekfence.com. It's a tech blog. So it's like a tech crunch, let's say, of
okay.
UAE. That was more like a side project.
Mm-hmm.
But surprisingly, since say last 14 months, it started making money. So we get ads, we get sponsored posts and stuff. So that is also running very good. And the third startup that we are actually working on improving right now, it's called Drivzy.
Okay.
Drivzy, D-R-I-V-Z-Y, Drivzy. Drivzy is like a subscription-based platform for cars. So,
all right.
So car as a service, CAAS.
How does that work?
So the thing is, the future of cars is that you will not buy cars. You will subscribe to cars, okay? And all the
That's an interesting.
And all the manufacturing companies today, if you see BMW, let's say Volkswagen and others, they are struggling to sell cars. Okay, so they are also doing some pilot subscription model. So like we have iDrive for BMW, and there's one program also for Chevrolet and others, right? So that they also know that that's the future of cars. Car as a service, right?
Okay.
So Drivzy is more like a subscription-based platform for cars. It's not live yet. We are working on it.
Okay. So how will it work? So for example, if I want to, how is that different from renting a car out?
When you rent a car, it's more like a rental agreement where there's no commitment. So you can rent a car and you say, okay, you know what, tomorrow I'm giving it back.
Mm-hmm.
So you are charged on the basis
Number of days or
number
whatever.
of days,
yeah.
right? And then you give the car back. There's no commitment. And because there's no commitment, it is slightly expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But when you subscribe to a car, it is almost very close to bank leasing.
Okay.
I cannot say it is exactly like bank leasing, but almost bank leasing.
So I will subscribe a car directly from the manufacturer through your app.
Manufacturer or dealership.
Dealership. Okay, through your app.
Yes.
Then I will have it, let's say, for 2 years or something, and I'll be committed to use it for 2 years.
So the beautiful part about subscription is that you can always change the car. So imagine you have let's say your favorite car, let's say a Mustang.
A Mustang.
Maybe.
Oh,
Yeah. So let's say you say, hey, they have this special model now for Mustang. I want to change my existing Mustang to that car.
Okay.
So you pay the differential. That's also on monthly basis, then you take the car. You change the car. So subscription is more like you're a part of the family. So say now I'm a part of the Chevrolet family or a Ford family or a BMW family, and then I want to change my subscription, for example, or change the car.
Yeah.
So that's more like a commitment, and you're a part of the game. Whereas in rental, there is no commitment, there is no connection. Yes, you take the car or you give the car back. That's it. So subscription is more like you're a customer, you own the car.
Okay.
In a way.
Yeah.
Right? And you can always change the car. So there's no baggage also on your head that, hey, this car that I'm driving, I have to sell it now after 4 years. I'm just giving an example.
Yeah.
It's getting older.
Yeah.
Stuff. And in subscription, everything is all in. So you don't pay insurance. Service is free.
Oh, okay.
They will take the car. They will do the service. And while they're doing the service, you have a spare car.
All right.
They'll give you a spare car. So it's more like I said, car as a service.
Yeah. So when is it coming live? Because I'm looking for a new car.
You will see it live in a couple of months.
That is perfect for our time, right? So we're in the market for a new car.
Yeah.
And I think we'll be one of the first customers of DriveZ.
DriveZ is, I think,
sign us up.
It is really a future of cars. Like
sign us up.
That's how cars will be sold.
So great. All right. So Finalrentals there, DriveZ is there. You have also been involved with UDrive.
Yes.
With budget rentals. So is there something special between you and cars going on here? Is there a trend?
Well, to be honest, you'll be shocked to know that I started my career as a programmer, right, in Pakistan, right, and I worked there for 2 years, and then I started my own company. So my first company that I formed in Pakistan, it was a mobile games company. We used to build mobile games. Okay.
Interesting.
And I'm talking about before the App Store era. You know those Java games?
Yeah.
Or Nokia 6600, Symbian phones. We used to build those games. Okay. And I'm the first person in Pakistan to start building mobile games.
Wow.
Okay. So basically, and because of that, I came to Dubai in 2006, Jitex, because we were the top 10 upcoming startups.
From Pakistan.
Yeah, from Pakistan. Thanks to the Pervez Musharraf government. He was spending a lot of money on startups that time. Yeah. So when I came here, I was like, you know what, man, this place is awesome. Let's start something here.
Let's move,
right? So I moved. So when I moved, here people were not really interested in games. They were more talking about web, e-commerce, transactional commerce like that. So my first project was actually Budget Rent-A-Car. So I met the CEO of Budget Rent-A-Car, and he said, "You're like our son. Just come over and we'll have a tea."
Excellent.
So I went to meet him, right? Then he said, "Okay, you are making our website. No question asked."
Great.
So I built their website, but when I was building their website, to be honest, for me it was just a project. I mean, it was not about cars. It was not about, let's say, I'm doing something. It was more like a project.
It was just another client.
Just another client. But when I built the website, I didn't realize one thing, that I was doing something huge, because Budget is a huge company.
Yeah.
It's worldwide. So when we built the website, it became a success. It was successful. And then Thrifty came to me, Dollar came to me, Superprice came to me, Auto Rent, Car Lease, you name it.
Yeah.
I have worked with these companies. And my last project was UDrive. So the more I went into this industry and I saw the backstage work going on, I realized that, you know what, I can make it totally digital. So, and that's how Finalrental was born.
Sometimes it's a bit interesting. I mean, I had the longest time in coming to terms. Not that I'm not a techie guy. I'm not like a programmer or a technical guy.
Yeah.
But I like tech stuff. But for the longest time, I've had trouble thinking of how to get the customer from the traditional brick and mortar system onto a digital system. And yes, you see examples such as Amazon and all of these things. They're going digital. But if I sit and think of what kind of business I would want to start, I would somehow always have a brick and mortar setup along with a digital setup. Was that something that you, especially for example, things like car rentals and all, I would want to go and have a look at the car. So if you say tomorrow that you don't need to visit anywhere, the car will be delivered to your doorstep. That's a beautiful thing to do, and I think that's the future. But wouldn't I want to see the car?
Well, I will answer this in a different way. So, while I was doing my MBA, as a part of my MBA, we went to Copenhagen School of Entrepreneurship to do specialization in entrepreneurship and innovation.
Okay.
So professor asked a question. He asked, okay, if I give €1 million to every one of you, we were 32, what you will do? So someone said, I'll build Uber. Someone said, I'll build a website for fashion. Someone said, a website for this. So it was all website for this or an app for this. So he asked, okay, so nobody will make tissue papers. Okay?
Okay.
Nobody will make matchboxes. So he said that if everybody will start doing everything online, who will make the real things? So the truth is, these technologies, apps, they will only work when you order from Zomato. It will only work when someone is making burgers there in the kitchen. Otherwise, you will not receive your order.
Yeah.
See, technology is more like an enabler. Technology is not creating anything, to be honest.
Exactly. So
if you go on Google and you say, shawarma shop near me, Google is not making shawarma for you.
Right.
Google is like, it's a tech, and it says, Google is more like,
it's
intelligent
database,
search database that tells you, okay, it's there. Just the next block. So technology, whenever you think about starting your own thing, I personally believe as an entrepreneur, you do not think technology as a tool that says, hey, you know what, I'll do everything. Technology can be your innovation, your underlying technology, your mindful thinking that says, you know what, I'm going to make it faster or easier.
Yeah.
But don't think technology as something that is the soul of it. Soul is more like the real product. So for example, when someone is booking online from Finalrentals, right, that's the ease, tech-driven. Okay? But the soul is when you get the car.
Right, exactly.
When you get the car at your door and you're like, man, that is awesome. I love that, man. Really awesome. So that is a real business. Technology is more like today is more like a masala for what you do. Yet the better it is, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Or it can become also a secret sauce, for example. A secret recipe that I put in my biryani that nobody can do that. I'm just giving example.
True.
Technology is never a business.
Right.
Business model is more like the real thing.
And the fact that it changes so rapidly.
It changes rapidly. So for example, today I'm making a website. Tomorrow when I wake up, that technology is obsolete.
Yeah.
Nobody is using it. There's no knowledge base anymore. Just giving example. So technology, don't think about technology as the only thing here, man. I'm a tech entrepreneur. I never say that I'm a tech entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur.
Right.
That's all. Technology, yes. Technology, I can say it's my edge. Because I've been a programmer. I know how to use, let's say, a great mix of code with machine to do things. I know the way out, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a benefit that I have, right? But I'm an entrepreneur, not a tech entrepreneur. Technology, let's not talk about technology as something that is like, too much over the top. Use it as a sauce, as a catalyst, and build better businesses.
Excellent perspective. Okay. Let's backtrack a little bit. How much of what you studied as a programmer are you applying on a day-to-day basis? Because the reason I ask this question is the moment you step into the shoes of an entrepreneur, you have to step out of your programmer's shoes and then look at business, finance, marketing, all of those elements, right? So how much of your core coach training are you applying these days?
Right. So when I was coding, when I was working as a coder, I was writing around 3,000 to 5,000 lines a day of code every day. A lot of code actually, right? So I've worked on many different frameworks. It's been 10 years I didn't code. 10 years.
Oh, okay.
10 years I did not code. Okay? It's been 10 years now. I'm focusing on business. But still, I can tell you, I'm the best coder in the room. In my company's engineering room, I'm still the best coder. And my engineers are still like, man, okay.
So you keep yourself updated with the technology.
I keep myself updated. And the best part is that because I'm coming from the Java family of coding and then ASP.3, those were very hard days of coding. You're coding yourself, everything on Notepad. Today we have frameworks. They suggest you so many things. Okay, do this, do that. We did coding on a very core level. So it really helps. Even today, it helps.
Your concepts must be very strong compared to...
Concepts are strong and they're also very inventive. So for example, it's almost like, if someone, build this table, for example, or you get this from IKEA and you design it, you're a good designer. Right? But the guy who built it, he knows better.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right? So it's the same way. Like we did programming on a very core level. So on that level, today also it works and it will always work.
Right. You're spreading this knowledge and this expertise across with other startups. Are you mentoring anybody these days?
Yeah, I mean, I mentor startups regularly, right?
Regularly.
Yes, regularly, and I'm mentoring more on macro level, right?
Okay.
So what happens is a lot of startups come and they say, I want to build this, right? So then you ask yourself, is it going to work?
Right.
Right? Let's find the viability of it. Yeah, it's viable. Okay, great. Now how to build it? So you'll be shocked to know that I was in this boot camp 2 weeks ago. It was a startup boot camp in Dubai Chamber, and I was very happy to meet 30 odd startups. They came for mentorships. I was shocked to understand that none of the startups had the idea how to build it. Okay, so I want to build this. Okay, perfect. So how to build? How to connect the dots. Okay, this will happen, then this ABCD. They were not able to understand how to build it, and they were tech co-founders. And I was shocked that how is it possible. So I was able to tell them what to do and how you can get started, because a lot of startups.
See, not everybody is meant to be an entrepreneur. Not everybody is. Yeah. So because yes, it feels good to be an entrepreneur, to run a business, to own a business. But then maybe I'm more of an operations guy. Maybe I'll be better if I manage the operations bit. Somebody would be better in managing people. So you can be a part of a startup, but then everybody now I've seen wants to have that credit under his own belt, saying that, oh, I have built this company, I've started this company, feels good to say that. I say there's nothing wrong in having a great job, be an employee, but as long as your life is fulfilled, you're satisfied with your work-life balance and what you want to do out of your career. But why is this trend now moving towards... I understand it's much easier now because of accelerators and these places, fundings and everything are much easier now.
Yes.
Crowdfunding and also everybody wants to get into it, which is fine. I mean, in the morning we had a podcast with a musician, and he was like, for every one rock star in the world, there are 1,000 who wanted to be rock stars, but were not able to make it.
Absolutely.
Same thing applies for entrepreneurship.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? For every one successful company. Otherwise, every second person would have Uber or Airbnb under their belt.
True.
Right? So, but why do you think, now I want to ask you, because you have, I think, around a dozen odd startups under you in the past 15 years, right?
Right.
So have you seen that shift? From 15 years, have you seen that shift that people actually are taking this up as a fashion statement of being an entrepreneur?
When I started, I was called a young businessman, not an entrepreneur.
Right.
Oh, so it's a young company. Oh, young businessman. Okay. So nobody knew what is this word, entrepreneur and startup, for example. So I was a new business, called new business.
Yeah.
The word startup also was not existing. I'm talking about 2008-9, right? Today, what is happening? It looks like a, beauty contest. So what happens? Like you meet people and they say, so what do you do? I'm an entrepreneur. Great.
Exactly. Yeah.
So how it works? So, and then you're like, oh, so I didn't get it. So the thing is, it is more like a fashion today. Like you said. But the thing is, because of market will always correct itself, right?
Right.
So when market will correct, right, you will see a lot of startups you will not see anymore. So it happens. Like I've been going to STEP conference every year, Web Summit every year. I don't see the same startups every year. Right. Some of them they carry on because they are real businesses. Yeah. Like I'm a Web Summit alum for 4 years. STEP group, I'm there for 3-4 years. My startup is there. SEF everywhere, Jadis Future Stars and stuff like that. But a lot of startups, they don't come anymore. They're not even existing. So it happens, right? It will happen. People will understand, oh, okay, so it wasn't like I'll start a startup and then tomorrow I'll raise funds. And then day after I'll say I'm on Forbes magazine. Yeah. It doesn't happen like that, right? Very few come on top, right? So you'll see, but it will happen. Because see, the thing is, you have to also understand that media and a lot of, ecosystem, they have also hyped it up. Startup for this, startup for that, right? Without drawing the line that what exactly it means. So, for example, you have crypto labs, and then you have blockchain, right? And then you have AI and all that. So these buzzwords, it's more like a 2002 when Java came. So everybody was doing Java and Oracle.
Yeah.
So what do? I'm studying Java.
Yeah.
So, but nobody knew what I'll do with that. But I'm studying Java. Why? Because my father said, right, it's gonna be awesome. So similarly, because my class fellows are starting a startup, I'll also start a startup.
Exactly.
Let's
yeah.
do that, right?
Then you fall flat.
Then you fall.
Face.
Then you fall flat. But the thing is, out of this ecosystem, some real things will also come up. Some real stories will also come up. But it's almost like if you ask any VCs will say we invest in 80 companies and we want 2 successful.
Yeah.
Out of those companies. So
and I never understood this VC thing. I mean.
So imagine, right?
I mean, how do those people have that much of an appetite, risk appetite? It's tremendous. I mean, coming from a banking background, if you ask me, I mean, that's a horrible risk assessment. You're investing in 80 is a big number. You're investing in, let's say, 25 or 30 startups, and you're expecting only 2 to come out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, no risk-averse person will recommend that. But then again, the turnover maybe that you get out of those 2
exactly.
will So if you have good exits, then maybe you cover everything.
The thing is, if you look at, imagine 80 companies, right? And 80 companies, I'm giving $1 million. So,
right.
So I'm putting $80 million on table, right? And let's say $17 million are bound to fail.
Yeah.
I have $2 million on table, right? From round 2, if any of the startup is raising 10 million,
yeah.
Then in round 3, if there is 30 million, my money is back.
Yeah.
That's how they see it.
That's how exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But you need to have a lot of confidence and a lot of risk appetite.
The thing is, it's more like a gamble. So see, for example, a lot of things. If I tell you today, they don't make sense. So imagine you are a VC. I come to you and I say, hey, imagine it's 2008, and I tell you, I'm making a website where people will make their profile. Okay. And what else they will do? They'll also tell me who are their friends. Okay, what else they'll do? They will also upload photos. Great. What else they'll do? They'll just chat with each other. Great. So what should I do? Please give me $500,000. Will you give me? You'll say, come on, man. What are you talking about? Get lost. That's the door. Today, that is called Facebook.
Facebook, yeah.
There are some VCs who sees, I think VCs also, few of them, they also have the power to see beyond the business model. So the guy who put money in Amazon, on Jeff Bezos, he said, when I met Bezos, he wasn't the smartest guy on earth. But he had the sincerity to gulp it down, right? So I said, okay, you know what? Okay, I'm going to give you some money. Let's start. So it's not always, they don't make sense. Even if I talk about Instagram, it came way after Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm making an app. What will the app do? It will upload pictures. No VC will upload, will give you money. Come on, man, you got to be joking.
Yeah.
Why we need that? We already have Facebook. We already have other things, Twitter and all that. No, we don't need. But it works. So the thing is, this in the startup world, a lot of things do not make sense on paper, but it's how you execute. So I think it's also about entrepreneurship, how you execute it. And one of the VCs, he says, okay, as an entrepreneur, bring your business model, bring your tech brain, but don't forget to bring your magic with you.
Yeah.
So I think it's also about the magic that you bring on the table.
All right. So did somebody, while getting into it, just 2 years into corporate life, and then you move on to being an entrepreneur. Did you have a mentor at that point in time? Somebody who believes this beyond, what we're talking about, beyond what Ammar is coming to me for. Absolutely.
So my first boss that was working with me, who I was reporting to, he was from the Ivy League University of Pennsylvania, Wharton Business School. Okay, he was a Wharton MBA. He worked with Oracle, worked with Microsoft in US, and he was a great guy, great guy. So I worked with him for a year. That 1 year that I worked with him, that 1 year made me an entrepreneur. He transformed a coder into an entrepreneur. He transformed.
Wow. Okay.
It wasn't me. He transformed it. He's like, no. You are joking, man. Come on. You are an entrepreneur. You're not here to code. Okay, code. You want to code? Code. It's fine. I know you're happy about coding and all that. Do that. But you know what? You are an entrepreneur. And then he was throwing me in the fire. So, okay, today we are launching a new product. You go and speak about the product. Imagine a 19-year-old guy giving a presentation in front of 600 people.
Wow, okay.
In Karachi, PC, imagine.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh my God. But when I did that for about 3 times, I was like, okay, so this is it.
Yeah.
Let's do that. So I think my first boss, really, whatever even I do today, like even, I did my MBA, I learned so many things, so many new things. But I realized today even that learning of that 1 year was, okay, that, I just cannot extend that with anything, It's like I just cannot explain, what exactly I learned there. It was like almost like, imagine Steve Jobs, working under, the boss of HP, how to make PCs. It was like that. It was amazing. He taught me so many things, how to write a plan, how to do, beyond coding, right?
Right.
Even how to stand when you're speaking or when you're not speaking, behavior, how to eat with knife and fork, so many things. He was the guy, man. I'm still in touch with him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we still talk, and he's like, "Hey, Rockstar, what's up?"
Mm-hmm.
We have this,
Right,
camaraderie. He's quite old now. Has kids also. Moved to US, but yeah, he was the guy. He really transformed me into an entrepreneur. Even my thinking, that this is it. This is the best thing on earth.
So you believe that entrepreneurs are not born; they can be built.
The thing is, you should have this thing in you that, okay, you know what? Let's do it. So, for example, if I tell you,
or maybe you were a born entrepreneur, but you've not discovered yourself.
The thing is, you have to understand one thing. I come from Pakistan, okay, from a very poor family, okay, below poverty line. Lived below poverty line, right? And I knew nothing about so many things, like how big the world is. Had no idea, to be honest, how big the world is, right? And that what it is like beyond Karachi, for example.
Right.
Okay. So he gave me that perspective that, come on, man, think global. We have these conferences, Comdex. Listen, and I won the Shell Tamir Award in entrepreneurship in Pakistan, NCR Excellence Award. NCR Excellence Award, my company won. Right?
Wow.
It's all because of him. That he told me that in Pakistan you have to think that you are number one. Only then you can go beyond, right?
Yeah.
So he actually transformed. The coaching was important.
Yeah.
Yes. See, the thing is, I've come from below poverty line conditions. I knew one thing for sure. One thing. The only way to come out of this poverty, because it is too much to have your own business. Salary won't do it.
Right.
One thing I was clear about: salary is not going to do it, man. We are 7 siblings. I'm the eldest.
You're the eldest.
Okay. Salary will not help you, my friend. That thing was in my head.
Right.
Now you have to do your own thing, but how, what, why, all that, he answered all the questions.
Wow. So that's really what mentor is,
It was amazing. So when I'm mentoring any startup, right, no matter who they are, my job is to give back. So I share all the, I don't, I'm not the guy who will hide. There are some hacks and all. I'll share everything that I can.
Excellent.
Yeah, I don't really hold back.
Do you have anybody to talk to now? Like if you have it, that you're at a, you can't make up your mind about a certain project, and do you have somebody whom you can seek guidance from, or sort of throw off ideas and just come up with a final finished product, like somewhat like a mentor, but for you now, somebody who can sort of guide you or coach you?
Yeah, I'm still in touch with my ex-boss,
Yeah.
right? But then I've also built a network of some, local Dubai entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Some of them are in Forbes 30 under 30,
Okay,
young, millennials.
Yeah.
So we have a group. We talk to each other.
Okay.
That, hey, how to deal with this crap, for
Okay.
example. But see, the thing is, when you are an entrepreneur for almost 16 years, full time, there are so many answers you can also get from yourself.
Yeah.
You have to spend time. Don't be hasty. So there are some things.
So what is your list? What is do you do the pen and paper, the good and the bad and the ugly, and how to choose a project?
The SWOT analysis.
How do you sort out, I'm sure when you come up with the idea, it's not clear cut and crystal. So how do you fine tune it? How do you bring out exactly what you want?
Right.
And what's the process for it?
So in the last 5 years, what I've done really well is I've done less work. When I say less work, I mean I have done less projects.
Okay.
But what I've done better is each project I worked on it like as if it's like a tailor-made, right? Front and back, automation, all those things. So the thing is, all the ideas that come into mind, like Finalrentals or Geekfence or Thrifty, they were not created, let's say, on paper.
Okay.
That, hey, let's make a website. No, it was more like a moment. Man, this is required, and I'm going to build it. It was more like that. It was more like very situational. Okay. So how Thrifty happened is that I was looking at options on long-term rentals, right? And Chevrolet came to me, Chevrolet, and they said, you are doing very good with Finalrentals. What you can do for us? And I'm like, man, you guys are dealership. Like, I'm not sure what I can do for you guys. So I'll be honest with you. I have no idea. No, but you are this innovator in your space for car rentals. You come up with an idea. We are on board. And then I realized one thing. When I went to Italy, I realized that they make some awesome cars like Fiat or Alfa Romeo. They're beautiful cars.
Oh, yes.
But they're also in UAE.
Yeah.
But nobody owns those cars. It's very, very less. So is there a model where you as a buyer can say, you know what, I'm going to try a Fiat 500. Okay? I'm going to try. There's nothing to lose. So that's how Thrifty came into my mind. That
Excellent.
there should be some solution where you can try any car. There's nothing to lose. The dealership also has nothing to lose. They already have the cars, right? Unless something like that. So it was more like a triggering point. It was never like I was doing very good with Finalrentals, right? Thrifty would never have happened. But when Chevrolet came to me, I was like, man, dealerships are also struggling. Hang on.
Yes, they are.
And they are.
So you had a light bulb.
Oh,
Their light bulb, exactly. That light bulb moment. And same thing happened also with Geek Fence.
Oh, okay.
So 4 or 5 years ago, nobody was writing about us.
Yeah.
Nobody was blogging about us. I said, okay, you know what? Let's start our own blog.
Yeah.
And then it became actually a product.
Oh, wow.
So today, if you go to Google now and search tech blog Dubai, you will see first page.
Yeah.
That is Geek Fence. Beating so many blogs that are there for almost 20 years. So we are beating all those rankings. So like I said, technology can help you, if you do it right.
So the next thing we have to do is SEO for the podcast.
Sure, I can tell you some amazing hacks, and you will see results.
Oh, excellent! All right. So let's take it one step further. Building future generations into entrepreneurs and generally, people who understand the society and then understand the gaps in and out. So let's talk about young kids now coming up. Graduating, undergraduate, all of that. What would you recommend in terms of discovering themselves? How to understand the world around them, because there's a lot of fog. There's a lot of stuff that they get, bogged down by it. Social media is there. These games and all of that. So the focus is not there, right? So what would you recommend to these kids now growing up? How to find their own path?
See, the thing is, the kind of information that they have access to today.
Yeah.
Let's say a kid who is, 12 years old, right? Maybe I would have had access to that information when I was 32 years old.
Right.
Looking at the resources that they have, tablets and all those things, they have access to more information.
Yeah.
Right? It is good and bad. So when you have access to so much information, you have to understand which one is true.
Exactly. Yeah.
And which is useless, and then you have to, have your separation points. The thing is, even, I'm a father, right? So what I understand is, in this generation that we have, the new generation, and after that, they will have access to a lot of information, right? So good is that you don't have to give them any information. That's a good part, okay? But the second part is, it's more like, you have to mentor them out. What do you think that you are good at, right? So you're good at, let's say, media, mass communication, right? Stuff like that. Yeah, I suggest you should go for that. Like, we cannot be parents who will say, hey, ye doctor banega, or he'll become a doctor, for example, or a engineer, or a pilot. Like all those professions that we have on the top of the ladder, right? So let them be.
Brown parent.
Exactly. So let them be. So basically, see, the thing is, let them be. You will find your way. How good you are. You'll find our job is to coach them. So if he's a good singer, right? How to make them better.
Right.
Hone the craft. How to make them hone the craft. Your job can be take him to more singing lessons. Yeah. More music lessons. Give him more. Give him more coaching, more mentorship. Not you, maybe through other institutions and stuff like that. Yeah. Right. But,
find the right channel, basically.
But our job is to be that guy who says, hey, I'm a very good scout. You will play forward. You'll be center half. You'll be the goalkeeper. I'm just giving an example. Yeah. So we have to work as scouts and say, okay, I'm going to find this talent, and say, okay, fine, I understand. This is what you have. It's really awesome. Let's do something about it. Like what you're doing with your son. I think it's incredible. I've checked some videos and some posts, really? And I think it would have been difficult for me if I was, let's say, in your shoes. Being an entrepreneur and then also working with your son. I think it's not easy. It is demanding.
Right,
It requires time. But I think after 5 years down the line, you'll say, man, I've built a brand. And that's my son. I'm just giving an example.
Yeah.
So these things can work. So you as a father, or we as entrepreneurs, senior entrepreneurs can actually scout, right, and then coach.
Right.
Even within our own, let's say home, and say, okay, my son can become this, or you have this art, or my daughter can become this, for example, like that.
I think this also, I'm having a small light bulb moment here. I think this is pretty much like a Drive Z idea, because I see so many young kids struggle with peer pressure, struggle with influences.
Absolutely.
This influencer marketing, man. I mean, the way this has come across is that now the values have changed. It's not about what I'm doing; it's about how much money it's making. Of course, money has always been important, but your core values. I don't care what my talent is. All I want to do is play games on Xbox and have a gaming channel, and that will earn me millions of views.
Like PewDiePie.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Some names are names, but then, it doesn't matter whether that resonates with who you are. Like you said, if somebody is good in art, somebody good in design or whatever, but that peer pressure ultimately takes over. So I think these kids, and more than kids, like you said, the parents and the teachers, they need to be aware of how to be, how to scout these
absolutely,
things.
Absolutely. And I think scouting is very important. So for example, when I was growing up, I'll be honest with you, my parents never told me that you will become a doctor or an engineer, right? And even I took a different path. I started making games, for example, right? When nobody made games in that country, you're making games.
Yeah.
So my father said, if you think that this is your art, do it. And from his savings, he got me my first colored phone, the Sony Ericsson phone. So that was a support. So I was making games, and I was
of course you had to test them and all. Yeah,
I was compiling the games on the phone, right? So, and checking how they work. So these are the moments that I can never forget, for example. So how many moments that you remember that you have done? I'm sure many. So the thing is, that's what a scout can do. Okay, my father was not a tech guy, for example. He comes from an accounting background, right? So, but he saw something. Oh, okay, this is interesting. Sure, do whatever you like, or that's it.
Yeah, and your drive was there. I mean, your passion was there.
Yeah. I was literally spending 32 hours on Wired coding.
Wow.
Yeah, even more. There were days even more. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing, interesting. All right. So Ammar, what's next? Where is your entrepreneurial journey taking you next? Because I've seen you do a lot of speaking gigs. Apart from coaching, you do your marketing for your products as well. And then there's a lot of entrepreneurial conferences that you speak in. So where's this taking you? What do you think is your next?
The thing is, since last 4 months, I have changed a few, let's say, things that we do in terms of marketing, right? So now we want to be a global product. Talking about Finalrentals, right? So I have worked with Polish Ministry of IT. I'm working with them in Poland, and we are launching Finalrentals in Europe through Poland, right? That is the product part. Second thing is that I'm also trying to establish myself as a brand, as a, let's say, international speaker.
Right.
From Dubai. So in the last 3-4 months, I have spoken in many, global conferences in Startup Hansa in Poland, and then in Web Summit, right? And then also speaking in STEP next week here in 5 again. So I'm trying to get as many conferences as possible as a speaker, because that also helps build your brand equity, right? And people believe in your brand even more, right? Yeah. And now I feel that I have a lot to say. So when I'm going on stage, there's a lot to say.
Yeah. Then now you have to filter it. Yeah.
You have to filter it. Absolutely. So that's what it is. And and then of course, car as a service. We're building our own product, Thrifty, right? So that is taking a lot of time, but the core part is over. So now we are working on more of a strategic, triggers and automation and stuff like that.
You will have all the major agencies on board when you launch.
We already have a huge, agency on board. Cannot take the name, but they are one of the best German manufacturer, right? And then we are trying to get some agencies who are not able to sell their cars here, right? But they make some amazing cars from Italy. There's one more from Germany, right? And then we're trying to also get some French cars like Seat, for example, and see how they can perform here.
Yeah, Seat somehow never picked up, although it's Volkswagen owned.
If you drive a Seat, let's say a DS3, for example, you'll be shocked to find out how
DS3, is that the hatchback one? I think that's the.
It's a crossover. It's a crossover.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah,
so that's a Tiguan platform, I think.
You can say it's very similar to Tiguan, and it's amazing. And you'll be shocked when you sit inside. You're like, oh my god, it's a lot of craft in here. The interiors, the way it is, same with Fiat 500.
But I think buying decisions are mostly governed by the resale value and maintenance cost. Maintenance costs are also covered as long as you're under warranty, to a large extent. But then
I think it's more also about, for us Asians, I think a car is also an asset. So we have an emotional connection with it.
Yeah.
That hey, today I own a car.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's like a upgrade on the Maslow's theory, and you're like, okay, now I'm stepping one, ahead, 1 point ahead. The thing is, but now the behavior is changing. So the younger generation, they don't give a damn if they own a car or not, right? But they want to drive a car.
In fact, now they're not even into owning homes.
The thing is,
in the West, the new trend is, instead of owning a home, just be free. I mean.
See, the thing is, you'll be shocked to know that the younger generation that is after us, like we are borderline Gen Y, born in 84, so borderline Gen Y, right? So the thing is, the younger generation after us, you'll be shocked to know they will earn less than us per capita.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be the first generation ever that is earning less than the previous generation. Okay?
Wow. Okay.
Per capita earning will be less. Okay, so there can be many reasons to that, right? The first reason is lack of commitment and distraction. So
they're lazy.
They're lazy and also not ambitious.
Yeah.
Another thing is talking about my father. So my father tried to, let's say, build a family. Okay, build a family. My grandpa tried to build a home. Right. So if you go back to the countryside, we have our home. Same with you. The family.
You have the family home, ancestral home,
the homes, right?
And
they used to own things.
Yeah.
Own, right? From now onward, forget about this ownership thing. The truth is, you will not own anything. Even your phone will be on EMI. Everything will be on. You will own nothing. Only thing that you will own will be the debt. And it's more like a short-term thinking, right? It's not a good thing to have, but the thing is, it's also very important for the older generation, right, to keep the values intact. Because here's the thing: no matter what you build Hyperloop, you do whatever. Business will always be done on relationships.
Yeah.
You can build the best. You can have a Tesla Cybertruck, right? Whatever. But business will always be done on relationship, right? That's how it works. Even today, for example, you want to do business with people who you know. Or who build some sort of trust cover. If you don't know, you will ask somebody, do you know this guy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, great. Okay, fine. Now, it's cool. Let's do this, right? So that's how it is, right? So you have to understand this thing will never go away.
Right.
The human factor. No matter how much high-tech we become, how much short-term lazy we become. So the thing is, like I said, the way market is correcting, right? The socio-economic, let's say, value is also correct. Itself. It takes time.
Right.
So right now we are going through this socio-economic, let's say, disruption, thanks to this new technology. When it will settle down, right? I think the younger guys, they'll be back to the normal thing, and they'll say, okay, I also want to own something.
Right.
So there's this gap in this, there'll always be a gap, like 30, 40 years, that we will behave differently, and then we come back again, right? So right now is that phase. Because there's so much new tech is coming every single day, right? Every single day there's new tech, there's variable tech. There's something else. So things are happening so much, and there's so much to absorb. I think that's also a reason.
You think the privacy is a big concern in this new technology?
The thing is, privacy is a concern now because something happened with Facebook.
Right.
Thanks to that Cambridge, that scandal happened, and now we talk about privacy. But the truth is, privacy was never there. The moment you are connected online, I'm sorry, there's no privacy.
There is no privacy.
We talk about privacy now because you wanna feel good about it. Man, it's private, privacy. Yeah. But truth is, no, Your data is not yours, my friend.
That's the thing, though. So people don't realize that the moment you're
It was
online,
never
your
yours.
data is not yours.
It was never yours.
Yeah.
It was never yours. Now we talk about it because it became this big, scandal. This big, and the biggest, one of the biggest data carrying companies on earth, right? So people talk about it, but the truth is, data is not private.
Yeah.
While I speak to you, my data is being sold to somebody.
Yeah, of course.
That, hey, call this guy tomorrow for this credit card. Which I never subscribed for. Which I never subscribed for.
Yeah.
That's how.
And that has been going on for ages and decades.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
even before this internet era, in the early 90s, when the credit card came in, especially if you remember in Pakistan, I mean, this happened. I mean,
give me a reference.
Yeah, give me a reference. And then a couple of days later, that guy would get a call, and then, hey, I never gave anybody my number.
Yeah.
We got your... And then the best thing used to be that the telecallers would never expose where they got your number.
Exactly.
Of course. And then now it has become a full-grown business, so the databases are sold, and it doesn't have to be online. It doesn't.
Even at that time, the lists used to be sold. I have a list of 20,000 or 30,000 people. How are they willing to pay?
Yeah.
Exactly. And now imagine we have servers, we have computers who make that list even more meaningful. Female separate, male separate, age separate, profession separate. So many things are separated. So today data is almost like gold, right?
Yeah.
And to be honest, there's so many people today also using these phones, Android phones, and other devices. 70% of the people, they don't even understand how to enable or disable something.
True.
So I'm sharing my location.
So while you can control some bit of it, maybe not with the provider, but at least with the rest of the world.
And there are so many apps you download, and they say, so this app will have access to your contact list.
You just click next. You don't even look.
Exactly.
You don't even
but
look.
But you don't
at
realize one thing: this app has nothing to do with the contacts. So why it is asking me to have access to contact list?
Exactly.
And then you go for a Facebook login, and Facebook says this company will have your profile, your email, your friends.
You remember that?
And you say yes.
That app that just came some few months ago, Face app. It would turn you. No. The
Face
one
app.
that Face app. I think the name was Face app. It ages you.
Yes.
All of that.
Yes.
We were all. I mean, everybody got crazy about it, and then you realized. You know what happened with me? I mean, she was always paranoid. She's always paranoid about privacy.
Did you use that Face app? No, okay.
No.
Me too. I didn't download it.
And she said, "You're not going to use my picture."
Because I know
want to see how we'll look at 80 years old.
Okay.
So she was like, "No." So, but then I realized, almost immediately, I did play with it, by the way. So full disclosure there. So, but I realized right at the beginning that it would not work if you're not connected to the internet.
Exactly.
And I was like, whoa,
exactly.
Okay. So the moment I'm taking my picture or loading some picture from my gallery, it is uploading it.
It is
and
uploading
then running some algorithm.
It is uploading your facial, features and biometrics, right, to the server.
Yeah.
And that server is doing its calculation.
Yeah.
Right. And whatever, how they use it, it's up to them. But now your face can be used in a way where you don't even know.
Even 40 years later.
And that algorithm can also do anything with that. Do anything. So like 20 years ago we used to see those pictures and also movies where they say that they have access to something and now they can take over the world. New machines are coming on. Terminator 4 and all that. That can happen.
That is happening now. In a sense, that's happening.
Absolutely.
Everybody should sit down and watch Black Mirror series. I don't know whether you've watched it or not, but that's like the dark side of technology.
And also, when you see the movie, Snowden, Edward Snowden, what he has disclosed, it's shocking, right?
I recently heard a podcast, Snowden's podcast with Joe Rogan, and the kind of stuff that he was, it was sent shivers down your spine, man.
Yeah.
I mean, what he saw, what he realized, why he did what he did, and the kind of life he's living now. And then you just extrapolate that onto how long this has been happening and what information is out there.
Yeah, and still it's happening.
It is.
Still
it's not going to stop now.
Yeah, still it's happening. But now it will be more like a blanket on it and, more like a, forms will become more like, do you want me to access your data? Click here, accept this, GDPR and all those things to make it more legalized.
Yeah.
But to be honest, still, whenever you are connected online, let's say you're on a Wi-Fi at the airport or any public Wi-Fi, your router is the boss.
Yeah, of course.
It can store all the data that you have and can always decrypt it. No problems.
That's the thing.
Scary stuff.
Yeah, it is very, very scary. But it's like you can do whatever you can to prevent.
Yeah.
Like you did not use Face app, right? I also didn't because I knew what exactly is going to happen. So
No, I realized, but then it's like, what the heck?
Yeah,
They have
so
a
it's
million
okay.
other ways to get
Exactly.
There are rules that also the kids need to understand. With these applications, you need to sit them down and make them understand that you cannot download these applications without their parental consent. Because how would they, how else would they understand what the ramifications of these applications are in the future?
I think Apple has done, you can say, a better job than Android. On these things. Like you can enable the family sharing. If you're a family, you can enable a family for the iTunes account, and then when your son is downloading something, you will know that he's downloading this.
But then
and you have to give consent if he wants to.
That's there on Android for quite some time now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I know. So I would like if I've enabled my family, I would know what my child is watching on YouTube. I would know what apps is he down. And by the way, they cannot below a certain age restriction, they can download. And above everything else, they have to have an approval from the parent. So when they try to download an app, a request comes on the parent's phone that your child wants to download this app. Only once you
Give consent.
approve it, then and app by app you can ban any app usage.
But the flip side on Android is that because it's open source, you
don't know what is being built in.
You can always log in also as a new account on your phone, right? And then you're not a part of the family. Right? And then you can do whatever. Then you bypass that.
You're not giving out secrets to my son.
No. I'm not sure that he will know that. But because Android is open source, right? And it is not hardware coupled with software.
Right.
It's not married to the device.
Right.
It's open source, right? So you can always log in as a new account.
So just educate me on this. On an iPhone, can I have 2 different Apple IDs?
You have to first thing first. The moment you disconnect your Apple ID, right, from this phone becomes a new phone.
Okay, it resets.
Yeah, because your Apple ID is carrying everything.
Right.
Okay, and the moment you do that, you as a parent will get alert.
Yeah, of course.
That your son is now.
So one Apple ID on one device.
Yes.
So there's no device sharing, essentially.
No. Yeah.
So that's the core difference between Android and iOS.
Yeah.
So Android allows device sharing.
With device sharing, you also mean to say the app sharing? So, for example, if you're running an app,
if I log in from a new account,
okay,
it will be like a new phone.
Okay.
So I can have one device, and I can have my ID and my wife's ID, my child's ID, and 3 of us can use it at a completely different device.
Okay.
So what I'll do is it's just like the computer, on your desktops, you log out and log in as a new user.
Okay.
So you don't get those apps.
Okay, so basically what happens in Apple that you start as a family, right? So let's say you have an account, and she has an account, Apple account, and I have an Apple account, right? So we can also enable family sharing.
Right.
So what will happen on family? Like imagine you are the parent, for example. So whatever is happening among the devices, you will know that these are the apps are being downloaded.
Yeah.
And also one app, if the app is downloaded, it can also be automatically shared in all the devices. So let's say if I download an app, let's say Spotify,
right,
and you paid for it.
Right.
So one paid app is equal for one family. So let's say even if you have 10 devices, you can use that app.
Right.
For free. In the rest of 9 devices.
So that's a Spotify feature.
No.
That's an Apple feature.
Apple is allowing that.
Okay, great. Yeah, so there's some differences from what I can see. Yeah, there are a couple of things. Yeah, like for example, what you said in Android, if somebody signs up with it, if the family link is enabled. And for example, if my son wants to be smart, and if you're watching this is for you. If you try to be smart and you try to log in with another account, I will get a notification that this particular device is attempting to add a new account, and he will not be able to. And so, for example, for a family link enabled device, they cannot go into developer options. They cannot do all of those things.
As a developer, because we also make apps, right? What I don't like about Android is that they accept every app.
Okay. Yeah, that is something. Yeah, I also don't agree.
So when you
with.
create an app, create an app, right? So it takes app to go live on Android in 1 hour. It will be live in 1 hour. Okay. Whereas in Apple, when you upload the app, right, they even check the code. Okay, and it will take sometime. It takes 2 hours, 3 hours. It has taken 1 week also sometimes for the app to get approved. So they want to know exactly what the app does. What's the purpose? Why you are enabling this permission?
Yeah.
That for contacts. Why do you need the permission? We built an app where it is counting steps. Okay, so Apple told me only steps I'm not going to give you the heartbeat.
Right.
Because when you have the health kit,
Yeah.
it gives all the information, right? Distance, health, heartbeat, and all that. Only steps, right? Yes, only steps. And they asked me 3-4 times, and made me write an undertaking. Yes, only steps.
Okay.
It is health data. Cannot be funny, with it. So, but same app when I uploaded to Android, no question were asked.
Yeah. No, that's something, and that has suffered. I mean, they have suffered for it. They really need to do something about it, because that is one area where Google clearly lacks, and I think that's because of being open source.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, great discussion, Ammar, and I look forward to seeing all of your new startups and a lot of you speaking gigs. Invite me in some of your speaking gigs, and because I would love to listen to these. I love to listen to these stories, and that's why I have this podcast. What we do is we meet with these inspiring people such as yourself who have actually gone ahead and done it. I mean, it's not easy for everybody to think about jumping. If you ask me, I'm shit scared of jumping, quitting a job and jumping into a full-time entrepreneurship.
Right.
So it takes some guts. People who have done it, and not even full-time entrepreneurship, in any capacity, if you have made a difference in other people's lives, if you are contributing and giving back to society, I want to get to know you. I want to know your story. I want to share it across. So that's the idea behind the podcast. That's why we do what we do.
No, I think what you're doing is really amazing because I think whoever is watching the podcast, they also want to understand what goes behind it. This person, why he's doing it. The purpose. I think bringing the purpose factor in the front today, I think that's where the media lacks.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, right? And I think that's what you're bringing back, and I think it's really amazing.
Thank you so
much.
much.
When you told me that, hey, let's do this.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, it's gonna be awesome. Let's do it.
I mean, just some random Instagram connect.
Yes, absolutely.
That landed us into a podcast.
Yes.
And hopefully, very long-lasting relationship, friendship.
Absolutely.
And we'll have you sometime over on the podcast again once we have more stories to share. And this is how the journey will continue.
Great. Thank you very much. Pleasure.
Thank you. See you around then.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.
Take care. Bye.